Well, hello there, Site42 staff. I would start with the intro, but the puppy of interest is feeling particularly neglected, so we're going to do this a little bit out of order today. First and foremost, puppy of interest 42, codenamed Charlie. Welcome to the anomalous broadcast from Site42, continuing our coffee break daily streams. We have been streaming every day for the last 1 year, 3 months, and counting. The daily stream streak remains strong. I, of course, am Dr. Theron Sherman. This is Puppy of Interest 42, codenamed Charlie, who desperately needs attention so badly because we here at this household are getting ready for a party tonight. More on that during the sponsor segment. But first of all, Puppy of Interest 42, you've had your greetings. Now I will hand you delightful treats, chat-mandated treats for you. And now please, behave yourselves in a properly composed manner for our daily briefing, because the daily briefings do not stop when events are happening. So, Site42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation, welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anonymous broadcast from Site42. I, as always, am Dr. Theron Sherman, although you do see that I am, in fact, incognito as my author, regular Sherman, today, for reasons, again, I will continue to talk about during the sponsor segment. But, as I have done for over 1 year and 3 months and counting, because the daily stream streak remains strong, I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, I am here for the next approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes, 90 minutes for today's stream. I will then have to eat and continue on to things I will talk about in the sponsor segment. But before I get to the sponsor segment, highly awaited, as well as the stream subject and today's general Q&A, let me start with the proper housekeeping protocols. I will not be knocked this far off protocol. Thank you, Puppy of Interest 42. I'm sorry, I will be knocked a little more off protocol because there is just a charming Agent Charlemagne also lounging around to say hello. So Agent Charlemagne is also here for your viewing pleasure. Okay, so first and foremost, Mamori, congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Meanwhile, alongside you, Zerdrin, 369 Destroyer, Legendary Doge, Silent Follower, Little Shadow One, Creepypasta, George Harrison, Dr. Frogman, Rune, Sean Taggart, America, everyone who I've just named alongside Amber as well right at the last minute. Thank you all for being here today punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns, Yusavar, Froy, Musical Sand, Baconsu, Breadsticks for you. Ethan, Funky Sunky, Atticus, Minty Andrea, Hunter Mark, Taylor, and Santos. Everyone who I've just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today just for being you. Now, today's stream is sponsored, and it is sponsored by, as Mamori put it, I realize the coat has the Clark Kent glasses effect on Dr. Sherman. That is correct. Without my lab coat, I am much more hard to find out in public. It is the same as that time when they promotionally put Henry Cavill during the Superman movies out in Times Square wearing glasses. And no one recognized Henry fucking Cavill because he was wearing glasses. So, why am I incognito today? Why am I not remember? Why am I not wearing my proper attire? Well, first of all, the lab coat is behind me. Dr. Chair is wearing it today. So, the reason I am incognito is our sponsored segment. Our stream today is sponsored by the Send Dr. Sherman to the Open Source Convention Fund. Now, this is a casual fund where if you guys have extra money this month, you are able to donate to the cause. I have currently spent upwards of $1,600 to $1,700 on VIP ticket to Open Source Convention 2026 in San Mateo, California. This is a 3-day and 1 Thursday night dinner party affair where it's my job to go over and woo these YouTubers and YouTube corporate employees to tell them that, hey, the SCP Foundation exists. Site42 exists. Look at how suave and charming I am. Look at our wonderful YouTube audience. Don't you want to invite us to these conventions? Don't you want to dabble in the SCP Foundation if you happen to be a film or animation or gaming YouTuber? Because remember, it is Creative Commons. It's very useful that you are free to use it as long as you release your own works via the same license, and as long as you credit the original source, you are allowed to use SCP due to the license. It's so convenient. YouTubers, you should join us in the fun. And so, the featured creator list for 2026 is going to slowly scroll by. Most of these I only know by name, or a few of them I follow. I've heard the name Stella Chu. I've heard the name Pirate Software. I follow Juniper Dev, the gaming YouTuber. That's cool. I've heard of the Slow-Mo guys. I've heard of Captain Disillusion. I have recently heard of Funky Frog Bait. I have heard of No One in the Next Row. Well, I think I know the name Point Crow. I know Doug's brother made the Stanley Parable, which I enjoy, but I don't know Doug. I know his brother. Don't know these people. I've heard of Tier Zoo. I don't know anyone in that next row. I don't know anybody in that next row. I do know The Odd One is out. Animation YouTuber, very useful as a friend to have. Don't know them. Corridor Crew will be there. That allows us to talk to some filmmakers. Very good for making SCP movies. Hank Green and Mark Rober will probably not be very useful to me, but they are just very, very cool. Actually, if Hank Green can use his connections to get me on Dropout, that would be very cool. Iffy Nwadaway, I know a lot about the SCP Foundation. Make an Actually episode. I will be there. Ranboo will be there. I don't know Ranboo, but a lot of you were very excited about Ranboo for some reason. I don't know these people. I don't know. I've heard of Lily Pichu. I don't know who that is, but I've heard the name. Mike from Vsauce will be there. I've definitely heard that one around. More Corridor Crew. They're everywhere at this convention. Aaron from Game Grumps. I know Aaron from Game Grumps. I know the Grumps. I have to try as a side mission to get Aaron from Game Grumps' fist bump on behalf of Sheeny for this convention. That is a side quest for Sheeny's generosity to the fund. But this is a very expensive convention because, for this level of access they are granting me, because they don't want it to be open to everybody. They wanted exclusive people, especially people they think that can afford it and therefore can benefit the creators to talk to them. So we got to play the game. This is a lot. Very difficult. So I appreciate your help if you can help me cover the cost for this. In any way you can, make up for this, because I am not a rich man like they are expecting to be buying these tickets. I am just doing my best to be our diplomatic envoy for the SCP Foundation among film, gaming, animation, as well as the YouTube community. Now, I do have more good news even before the convention begins. As I said, diplomatic envoy, I'm doing my job. Last night, as I am playing some video games to wind down to go to bed early so I could wake up, handle everything, and get to this event tonight, I get an email from the open source team. A different rep that I have been talking to. The first rep is the one who helped me upgrade from the industry ticket that I purchased, the $800 ticket, to get the VIP ticket, the much more expensive $1,500 ticket. And of course, this is unlimited meet and greets, this is behind the scenes, this is getting the access to the people so that we can get them networked into the SCP community. What was I playing? Intern T-Rose. I got the Platinum Trophy on the game Soros last night, if you must know. And so, I get an email from a different task member of OpenSauce. And they said, hey buddy, it is too late to have you on as a featured creator. Well, it is the day before the con, so I do agree with that. I'm not shocked by this. But here's an industry ticket for you. So, they gave me the $800 ticket for free. So, apparently, I haven't even talked to or glad-handed this person. They just saw our YouTube platform and decided to hand that to us. Now, I then, being honest and charming, said, hey, look, I'm very thankful for your generosity, but this other person also helped me purchase this ticket already, and then they helped me upgrade it to VIP once the waitlist happened. Can I transfer this ticket to someone else? And so now, Agent Goose is going to be helping me wingman this entire weekend with the much more medium rank ticket. Now, having a wingman on hand is going to be very important because there are going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be a lot of people to join in with and chat with. And Agent Goose is a hell of a wingman. If we happen to be separated because I'm doing something, Agent Goose can be talking me up to someone, at which point I can then sidle up and be like, oh, did I hear my name? And so, why did I think you'd bring Desk? Creepypasta George Harrison, if Desk could fly from West Virginia to here overnight this fast, might have been an option. But of course, Agent Goose is here. Of course, Agent Goose is a wingman. Mamori, that is a brilliant Top Gun reference. I didn't even get that. He also said I couldn't go because how the hell am I supposed to explain away a talking desk? You can see my dilemma. So yes, this is good news because that means they are doubly, two separate staff members are considering us for featured creator next year. And they thought so enough that they would just throw me an $800 ticket for free. And so Site-42 staff, we have not started this convention, but we are already making inroads in the community. This is the kind of networking and glad-handing that happens when you, A, have the resources to buy your way into it, or B, you have the community push to shove one of our people through the door, at which point we can make our inroads. And so Site-42 staff, that free ticket would not have happened without you guys. And so I thank you very much for your power. At this point, I am Goku, and you guys are giving me the Spirit Bomb. And I will do my diplomatic duty, and this will be a successful run for the convention. There was one more thing I wanted to say about that. Wasn't there? No, there wasn't. Stay tuned over the weekend. I'm going to be dropping short clips of things I see and experience I have, kind of like a travel vlog for the next couple days. I think that's going to be my balance, as I'm not going to grill people for interviews, but I will show you guys some cool stuff when I have the opportunity. Now, oh yes, and so that is why I am incognito as regular Sherm. I am going out into the public as my author, and we are going to do our best to glad hand, network, and bring back knowledge and connections for the SCP community. Speaking of the SCP community, our stream subject for the day has a lot of SCP fans in a dilly of a pickle, in a oh my worried situation. What are we talking about? Well, let's start with the main headline and then work our way through the situation. Puppy of interest, I know, it's terrifying, but we're gonna be okay. The situation is being solved one step at a time. So, it is being rumored that A24 is removing people's Backrooms merchandise from Redbubble because of their Backrooms movie. That is, at the very least, the start of the rumor. There is more intel on this scenario, so don't freak out yet. Don't freak out yet. So, this Backrooms-inspired artwork was taken down off of Redbubble, and it is claimed to be by A24 Films, LLC. Seems pretty cut and dry. Now, more and more conversation has gone on above this. You will see our thumbnail is from the Twitter user Regularly Blue 3D, who both has been doing some good reporting on the scenario and also jokingly made the comical thumbnail, which I then found funny enough to use as the thumbnail for this stream since it was pointed at drama YouTubers, and I guess I'm doing a hecking drama YouTube right now. So, I did leave their credit in there in the tweet on the thumbnail. That way you could follow them if you want more information on this scenario. But that is just the start of the rumor that is passing around, and I will talk about how this goes to the SCP community in a minute, but let me finish the backroom section. So, for those who haven't seen it, this is our stream thumbnail today. This tweet. I think that is pretty comic gold right there. In fact, I like that tweet. Like it again. Probably I liked it on mobile. So, the update, and I see people telling me in the chat, but don't worry, I'm getting to it. Kane Parsons has commented on the situation already, and is using his back channels to A24 to get answers on the scenario. Because, of course, this is not what Kane wanted to happen. And the set down here, it says A24 is claiming that they didn't do it. So, it is possible there is some copyright fraud going on with that A24 takedown, because there's a lot of fraudulent copyright strikes. It could be possible that a third-party person did it when they weren't supposed to, somewhere in the supply chain. But they are doing what they can to get this shut down so that people can make their backroom stuff again. And so, that is our current knowledge of the scenario, which is multiple things got taken down. A couple of pieces of merch. I think it was a couple of Backrooms games. Don't quote me. I am doing this off the cuff. And so, they are trying to sort that out on their end. Wacky Clown, what does this have to do with the SCP fans? Well, already, SCP fans are a little bit worried about this upcoming, already announced, VHS SCP film by the VHS horror franchise. Part 1 of the red flags was afraid they might use AI, which, by the way, just a tangent. Netflix announced today that like 300 of their movies and shows have been using Gen AI. Just to keep tabs on that. But people are worried they might use AI. We don't know if they will or not. People have been worried about the blood money donations from the UAE funding the movie. I have been middling on how much that's an issue compared to how Hollywood has already treated a lot of stuff they've made in the past. I don't know how I feel about that, and I'm waiting for more intel. But third and foremost, the thing that brings us to today's worry, we don't know for sure that the VHS SCP movie is going to release via the proper Creative Commons license. Because it has been well thought knowledge that Hollywood will not touch the SCP Foundation because of its Creative Commons license. And so they don't want to have to release their work Creative Commons after they make it, even if, as Keter Labs put it, they put all their money into the theatrical release and they make all their money back there. It should be fine to release it after the fact. But if they don't want to do that, they can't do it SCP style. So, I'm catching my train of thought. It is running down the tracks. So, on the positive angle of the VHS SCP license situation, the last update I have that gives me a shred of optimism is that during the press release of the studio talking about the SCP movie, they did mention by name the Creative Commons 3.0 Share Alike with Attribution license, which means that they know the license exists. If they know the license exists, the lawyers must have talked to them about what it means to make this movie, right? Right? I'm really hoping so. But that is my shred of optimism in this moment. My shred of optimism. Because on the bad side, they didn't talk to the SCP Wiki staff at all before announcing their movie. And it has been several days, almost 2 weeks, a week and a half, I'll say, a week and a half since the announcement, and the SCP Wiki staff has not been able to get in touch with anyone in their legal, anyone in their film production studio. Despite the fact that I have handed Wiki staff, through my SCP Filmic connections, several inroads of contact to those people. Now, to be fair to the film studio, Wiki staff technically did not start trying to reach out until Monday of this week. And that's because if you know anything about SCP Wiki staff, it's a lot of people, and they want to, A, make sure everyone's in agreement with what they're going to say, and B, draft up a very solid letter. And so they took a week to get their words right before they reached out. So it's only been 3 days since Wiki staff reached out. And remember, at no point did VHS SCP need to talk to SCP Wiki staff at all legally. Our Creative Commons license is a specific copyright release that if you follow the license, you can do what you want as long as you follow the license. So as long as they credit the SCP Wiki and any individual SCPs that they use in the wiki, in the movie, although they have claimed that they aren't going to use SCPs from the wiki, just the Foundation in general. We're still murky on that front. As long as they cite the credit the original source, as long as they link the SCP Wiki website, and as long as they release their movie via the same license, then they don't need to talk to us at all. Now, as Zen Baker says, it's best to be in contact with each other, both directors and wiki staff. Would be nice. We do know that when the original creator is involved, Hollywood pictures typically have a higher success rate. There's always the off one where the creators are actually just lucky they made something good and they actually tank the movie, but that's a whole different scenario altogether. So, yes, it would be very nice if they would at least communicate with the community at the single least to confirm they're following the license. Because if they're following the license, then wiki staff has nothing to worry about. Because they can't say anything about the Gen AI use. That's not wiki staff's purview. They can't say anything about the UAE blood money. That's not wiki staff's purview. The only thing they can do is protect the license. And so, They don't support movies. They don't put down movies. They just make sure they follow the rules. Lawful, neutral. That's what we want from the SCP Wiki staff. Now that said, that does not mean that we are not somewhat worried that they're not using the license right, because they haven't confirmed. And that they might not try to do something similar to what the rumors are A24 is supposedly not doing. Because it is a worry among certain segments of the SCP community that if a company came in and made an SCP movie, they might try to trademark it, they might try to copyright it, and they might just try to bully the community because they are bigger and they have more money. Site-42 staff, I want this known. If ever something like that were to happen, something Doctor Who quote, when a good man goes to war, we are going to have to mobilize. Because the Site-42 platform is one of the largest SCP Foundation platforms with any affiliation to the SCP Wiki. I am a junior staff member, which doesn't mean a whole lot. Literally, they just gave me a staff position so I can talk to SCP Wiki staff from time to time. I don't do anything for the Wiki. But in my unofficial, self-proclaimed consultant to businesses about SCP, if anything like that were to try to happen, you and I would be the first. I know it's very worrying, Puppy of Interest 42, but we've got to be brave. You and I would be the first line of defense of yelling Paul Revere style that the British are coming and trying to raise money for our legal defense. Just like we did with the Russian trademark troll situation, which, as Sumerian informed me, welcome to the chat, Sumerian, we didn't necessarily win that, we just fought long enough that the opposition gave up. So, it would be a bigger fight if a big Hollywood production tried to play that game with us. And it would be up to us to get in a fight about it. And so, Site-42 staff, the SCP Wiki is worried. I am still tenuously, cautiously optimistic. They cited the Creative Commons license. They know it's there. I would hope this is literally what the Creative Commons is supposed to protect us from. This problem that the A24 situation is or is not having. This is what the Creative Commons is supposed to protect us from. And so, just keep your eyes open. As we say here at Site-42, because our site number is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Don't panic. We just wait to see until it's time to act.
And always bring a towel.
And always bring a towel. Don't forget your towel. It's probably just a mistake oversight, but I hope the Backrooms folk are being vigilant. Dr. Sumerian, it probably is an oversight. As I said during that segment, it is most likely a third-party agent that they have that is acting too quickly. Something Kane Parsons said as Kane was talking to A24 is that it is possibly that A24's attack dogs were supposed to be going after cam rips of the movie, and now they're going too far. So it should likely get sorted out. Fingers crossed. Voidster, thank you for the positivity of yo awesome drip. This is now going to be a Site-42 fit check, because I'm feeling myself today. I have not worn this outfit since I went to the big Patreon party, wearing this outfit right before I injured my ankle. I'm feeling pretty fly. I'm feeling pretty hype. I match Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. We are matching drip today. So yeah, I think we're killing it. Good puppy. Mwah. All right. So, Site-42 staff, that ends our stream subject for the day. We currently have approximately 1, We approximately have 1 hour and 10 minutes remaining in today's coffee break. 1 hour and 10 minutes remaining for general Q&A. I will first catch up on the donations, and then we will wrap. We will talk SCP Foundation, as we have done for over a year and 3 months and counting. Dr. Sherman, at my horseback riding lessons today, I jumped for the first time. Congratulations, Zilly Equestrian. That's very cool. Are you cosplaying as your author today? Intern Jess, that's exactly what I'm doing. Obviously, I can't reveal the SCP Foundation secrets in public, so I will be incognito as my author, Regular Sherm. Dr. Sherman, what SCPs have you made? Intern Akil, you can head to my author page on the SCP database. The Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub, and you can see the SCPs that I wrote. Now, let me check the Ko-Fi, make sure that's clear, that I didn't miss a notification. Okay, we're good there. Captain Gilbert, thank you for your first and second donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Please grab yourself a Frito chili pie on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, have you heard that they found the purpose of the appendix? And secondly, how buoyant do you think the Daybreak 001-A instances are? So, no, I have not heard about the appendix's intended purpose. Can you tell me more? And secondly, I would assume as buoyant as a human body, since they are flesh monsters. A fictional character pretending to be their author. Very fine and not confusing. Really loving the implication that you have a severance relationship with your author. Yeah, but we all know I'm the better one. Ow! Hey! You said I could go out! Sandy Soda, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself some... get some crazy with the cheese whiz on your way past the commissary. Love from the confinement team. Hey, SCP Confinement Reboot. I hope your animation for the SCP community is good. I hope it gets the support it requires. Make good art. That is our motto here at the SCP Foundation. Besides, you know, securing, containing, protecting, hiding the horrors of the dark from those who live in the light, that sort of thing. Eric Terry, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, followed by 7 stars. That is 9 stars. So from you, chat got a 4-star ranking with a prestige rank. Alki sent a star, making you a 5-star team. And then Ike sent you 5 stars, giving you a 5-star ranking, as well as another prestige rank. Congratulations, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, a 5-star team. Dr. Sherman, question for you. As someone who wants to create an SCP entry on the wiki, what tips do you have? Also, the person making the Frito pie want to share. Ooh, delicious. Frito pie is a wonderful treat. Now, for writing wikis, the number one thing I can tell you, besides be 18 or older so you're allowed to join the SCP database, is I would recommend, even if you are under the age that is required to join, I would start reading the Getting Started Guide. On the front page of the SCP database, in the sidebar, the Getting Started section has the Guide for Newcomers, the Join the Site Guide, the How to Contribute Guide, the Frequently Asked Questions, and the Universe Hub. I would read all of this very carefully and thoroughly. I would also come across the page to the Resources segment. And once my Site 42 connection terminal stops glitching so it can actually show me some things on the website... Is this because the sidebar's open? You don't function because this... Yeah, it does. Thanks, Wikidot. That was Wikidot's fault, not my terminal for once. Read the guides and the essays and resources. Read the About Us section. You want to become well-versed in those sections of the SCP Wiki first. Those are your guides on not only how to write an SCP, but how to be a productive member of the community. Because a lot of people are worried so much about the art and the writing, they're not worried about, oh, I've actually got to have people read my work and enjoy it and like me enough not to ban me from the website for breaking all the rules. So you want to go and make sure you make a good impression on the community as a productive and healthy artistic hobbyist. Artistic and autistic for a lot of them. And enjoy your time on the website without causing a fuss or a muss. You will learn more about interacting with the community and how to write your SCP more efficiently. That is where I would start for you. I know it sounds boring, but the boring training is how we get started. You need to go through your boring training before you can get to the epic stuff. DJ, thank you for sending a $100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will keep it even more $100 at your urging. Intern Scotty, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please grab yourself. I'm giving her all she's got! On your way past the commissary. What did one ball say to the other when we drop in? If you're going to do dad jokes like that, I would recommend some more SCP-centric dad jokes. Those are a little more the audience that we're working with. Remember, when you're writing for yourself, you can write whatever you want. But if you're writing for an audience, you have to at least consider the audience a hair. You don't have to make everything to all their demands, but you should consider you're writing this for an audience who isn't you, and they're not going to have the knowledge you have or the references you have, so you'll have to make that apparent. Captain Gilbert, thank you for donating again to say, the purpose of it is backup of the gut biome. Oh, so all of your little probiotic, prebiotic bacterium, if those are erased, the appendix puts them back? Is that what it is? Huh. In what would happen if I shot SCP-682 with the nerfing gun? Intern Napastuk, we already did that. It's in the termination logs for 682. Suffice it to say, our definition of worse for 682 makes it actually more powerful and deadly. So that was bad for us. Not a great idea. Have you ever created an SCP? And if yes, can you share them? Intern Stone. My author page on the SCP Wiki lists the 8 or 9 stories that I've written for the SCP database. You can, at your leisure, go to SCP Site 42, the Sherm's author page, and you'll be able to see SCP-3086, SCP-3302, SCP-2700-EX, SCP-3802. Ignorance is bliss is a tale, not an SCP, but it still counts. SCP-5886, SCP-5542. I've also done voice lines on the database for the Plague Doctor, 3208, featuring Dr. Sumerian, SCP-3317 voice lines, and I did some sound effects for SCP-5999. And so you can head to my author page and check out my works if you wish. Falcon, thank you for sending 5 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Falcon Star! And now, the chat is a 5-star team with yet another prestige rank. Congratulations, chat. What would happen if I made SCP-3008 into a chicken wing? Intern Nuke Dude, how would you turn an infinite spatial anomaly that takes the form of an IKEA furniture store and make it into a chicken wing? Please elaborate. I'm not going to answer your question until you answer mine. Who would you pick to play you in a movie? If the Dr. Sherman role was to be in a movie and it could not be played by myself, then I would trust Matt Pat or Thomas Sanders to the role. They have that very same obnoxious theater kid energy. I think they could pull it off quite well. Is SCP-682 able to see? And if yes, why don't we just show it a picture of SCP-096 to terminate it? Intern Frost, we've also run this experiment. The first time we tried to show it a picture of 096, it just sucked up all of its eyes into its body, so it couldn't see anything. But then when we were able to surprise it with a picture of 096, and 096 attacked it, from there, 096 attacked it. 096 attacked 682 for a total of 27 hours before realizing that it was unable to kill 682. Then it had a mental breakdown and gave up. So, yeah, that didn't work. Dr. Sherman, how the fuck is your Skippy Wiki in dark mode? Ah, lol. I use Opera browser, which has, this is not sponsored, which has plugins from Chrome. And there is this one plugin that has a logo like a Darth Vader head. And that extension for Chrome is a dark mode reader that is very effective. More important, though, is if you're using Chrome browser, you should get the Chrome extension Skipper. Skipper is an SCP wiki extension that adds certain information to the page, like the author right underneath the story. It's very convenient. And so let's say, for the sake of argument, I went to one of my articles since my author page is up. And so if I had that off, you would see this, but with Skipper, the extension, it says written by the Sherm, and so you can see the author right there. While I have been doing SCP readings for several years, having to go hunt for the author of an article was very annoying. This made it a lot less annoying. T-Rose says you can get that extension in Firefox too. That's splendid. Firefox and Chrome for Skipper. SCPPR. Intern Jules, thank you for sending sunshine on a cloudy day on your way past the commissary. No, to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel very warm about it. Sorry, I got stuck between two different donation thank yous. Intern Stone, SCP-096 already knows how ugly it is. It does not attack itself if it sees its own face. Ever gotten to singing as well as the dancing? Well, I was a wedding singer for a couple of years. I've done musical theater. So yes. Yes, I did 7 years of choir. I have to use it for something. Can I suggest you a song? Actually, Intern Ninja, I forgot to mention, since we're doing this open sauce convention donation push, whoever donates the largest super chat or Ko-Fi donation in a day gets to pick the song I sing at the end of stream. And so right now that is Sandy Soda. And so if Sandy Soda wants to pick a credit song to overwrite the one I picked, they have that right. They can also choose to just let me pick the song I had it the first time, but that's choice. You want song for listening? Okay, that we don't do here because we've got the sweet sounds of Slowgramming by Billith. an experimental music project with numerous songs based on SCP stories. It's just thematically appropriate. Shout out to Billith, SCP author and friend of the channel, for your Slowgramming music playlist for the channel. Been getting back into SCP Animated before the finale. After the finale, it got turned into a cringe child-friendly slop. Doubt the SCPs are accurate, but I love the story narrative they had for it. Oh, I think I remember hearing about this before at some point. Hello, Puppy of Interest 42. Yes, everyone's busy because we're getting ready for the party, and you need attention. You know how it is with children. And here is a second treat, but only if you get tall. Oh, so tall. So tall. Very crunchy. Sweetie girl. SCP-1025, the Encyclopedia of Common Disease versus somebody who used SCP-500. What will happen? I need to know what happens. Intern Akeel. It depends. Are they taking the 500 pill before or after reading the book? Because if they're healed by the pill, that doesn't make them immortal. That just heals their illnesses. So they can still get sick again. But yes, it will cure you if you are sick from that book, although we don't have to worry about that because we buried that book so people stop freaking out. The dark mode reader is on Firefox, not Skipper. Ah, okay, T-Rose, sorry, my mistake. Yes, the dark reader is on Firefox as well as Chrome. The Skipper, I know it's on Chrome, I don't know if it's on Firefox then. Fun fact, Tryhard Ninja, a YouTube songwriter who mainly focuses on video games, made a couple SCP songs, did 173, 096, 049, and Nine-Tailed Fox. That is fun facts, DJ. I'm sure the chat will appreciate it. Intern Ninja, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I am self-reporting a luck-based anomaly. I have found 3 shiny Pokemon within an hour. Every mystery flavor candy ends up being my favorite. In D&D, I haven't rolled under an 18 in weeks, and much, much more. Yeah, okay, that's towing the line to where you should probably get checked out. Alright, head over to containment. I'm sure they will intake you with great joy. Sandy wants to know if you can choose a copyrighted single for the outro. Yes, but remember I'm singing it a cappella. And if I don't know the song, I'm going to have to go listen to it for a second before I can sing it because I don't know it. I will do my best with songs I don't know. Since we're skipping this Fan Art Friday, will we get a double feature next Friday or receive a cursed Fan Art Monday? We will be doing Fan Art Friday just with double the potency. Now, it might not be double the length, which means I'm going to have to go hella fast. Again, cover job days on Fridays makes that a short stream, so we'll have to see if I can get through it all. Correct, Dr. Frogman, because I'm going to be at the convention center all day tomorrow, and Saturday, and Sunday, there will be no Fan Art Friday. There will still be streams whenever I can find reception, and it will be short stream, but we will do something. It's going to be a crazy weekend. Desk asked me when to be around for moderation duties, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the schedule. We're going to have to play it by ear this weekend. You should be in the SCP movie. You're damn right I should. Someone making an SCP movie, put me in your movie. Good, stream it. I mean, I'm not going to stream the whole convention because, you know, there's going to be people there who are on their thing and they don't want to be recorded. So I'm not going to do that to them. But I will see some, I will at least tape some things that are allowed to be taped and put them up for you guys to see. Did you ever find out what would happen if we used the gender-switching stone on SCP-113? I didn't see anything about that on the database, but I would assume the same thing that happens to all biological entities, except that SCP-682 can shapeshift, so it can just go back to what it was in the first place if it wants to. Or maybe it'll like its new form. I'm not going to judge. I don't know how, but every time I open YouTube app, you're live, you're the first on my homepage. Well, they know that you want to watch, and so they stick us at the top. The algorithm is finally doing its job, at least for you. I was playing SCP on Roblox today. Ooh, yellow. Roblox is getting sued again. I was listening to that at the gym. Child labor practices this time. Wait, could someone else play you in the SCP movie? Intern Jess, yes, we just talked about this. Someone might make an SCP movie and use Dr. Sherman without me. I would prefer if it were Thomas Sanders or Matt Pat. Obnoxious theater kid energy, I dig it. Of course, I would prefer it to be me in the first place. Yep, when isn't Roblox getting sued? I guess not. Reminder, the last time they were sued was about the grooming stuff. Now they're moving on to child labor stuff. Dr. Sherman, there was a 113 entry on the 682 log. It grew a flesh bow, but it got pruned by staff. I knew there was an entry in the before. I knew it. Dang it. I hate it. I sometimes the SCP Wiki makes me feel so psychotic because I will know that something's there, and then it was deleted for some reason. Ah, yes. Okay, I was right. Oh yeah, did we ever get Markiplier to agree to play in the movie? I did not hear any response from Markiplier to that. Now, of course, the Keter Labs containment breach of the movie did not reach funding, and so they are scrambling to find other ways to raise money to make the movie, but it's going to be a lot harder. So, we're keeping an ear out to that to see what they do. How do you become an MTF? Well, Intern Frost, I would assume that SCP-113, the gender-switching stone, would do that, but only for about approximately half the population. Boom-ts. But no, to become a Mobile Task Force agent, you must be the best of the best of the best in whatever fighting force you fight for to be recruited by us. It was pruned due to the writer of being exactly who you think it is. Ah, son of a gun. Damn, they went into the edits of those long collaborative logs. That's thorough. Good work, staff, finding that. I wouldn't have found that. Is SCP-079 even an anomaly anymore? Like, he's just an AI, right? Well, Intern Sharky, first I have to correct you. Remember, it is an anomaly. It is an object. It is not a person. Do not he or she the anomalies. They are objects, not people. Please practice proper non-violence protocols at the Foundation. It's a matter of principle. Furthermore, while we do have a tale on the SCP database called Outdated, which is the story of how 079 was explained because technology moved past its capabilities, it is still anomalous in that it is doing processing well outside of the memory capabilities of the computer it is within. So it is still anomalous, even though it's not nearly as powerful as modern tech. Intern Stone, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Then how did I end up on Mobile Task Force Site-42? Because Intern T-Rose, Mobile Task Force Site-42 is not a fighting force. It is a signal booster corps spreading the SCP Foundation message to those who would fund our big movies and games and things like that. So you don't have to be a fighter to be a member of Mobile Task Force Site-42, unless you're fighting for our right to party! Just got here, Dr. Sherman. Where the hell is your lab coat? Bored as hell. I am currently incognito as my author, Regular Sherm, to go to an event tonight to network, to procure connections and intel for the SCP community. The first party of this weekend-long open source event is this evening, and so I am, as the Robloxians say, dressed to impress. Ugh, didn't like that. Nope. Captain Gilbert, thank you for donating again to say, would it be possible to turn the Super Ball into a weapon, like a missile? I'm doing a When Day Breaks D&D session. Any suggestions for weapons? So, I mean, 018 could be used as a single-use bullet if you threw it hard enough. Based the fact that it gains momentum each bounce, you would have to throw it really hard to get it to go fast enough to be... It's a really unwieldy weapon, is what I'm saying. But, I mean, we do have a variety of anomalous weapons on the SCP database to choose from. Nope, that's not what I wanted. First and foremost, I'm going to the SCP database entry for SCP-6952. SCP-6952 is the Greek god Hephaestus's weapons manual. And so that gives you a bevy of anomalous weapons to deal with. But furthermore, there is a tag on the SCP database for weapons. And so, you go to the tag cloud, you click weapons, and you are greeted by 301 different SCPs tagged as weapons. And then again, Memori is pointing out that there are several anomalies that aren't actually weapons, but can definitely be used like them, if you get creative. Such as Steely Dan, SCP-297, the vibrator with a nuclear setting, a nuclear power battery, and a suicide setting. You use it at that setting and you will not be around for very long. So yes, check out the tag for weapons to get yourself a list of weapons, and of course, get creative if you want to. Get this a little higher up. I need better coverage. There we go. Now I can sit up a little taller. Sandy Soda, thank you for donating again to say, can you sing Cake by the Ocean? Sure. Cake by the Ocean can be the credit song, unless someone donates more than $10. Then they can choose. By the Ocean can be the credit song unless someone decides to donate more than $10 to become the current highest donor. We will see if you maintain that to the end of stream. I am currently setting the song to Cake by the Ocean. If I donate $10, will you do it with the donut? So, okay. Here's the deal. One Christmas after the donut ad happened, my family pranked me at Christmas by making every present donut themed. I still have a closet full of donut-themed presents, an idol to that time in my life. For each $10 donation that says the word donut as a super chat, I will go get one of them and hold them during the rendition. I think I can offer that up to 5 to 7 different iterations. I will not inflate the donut floaty, though. I will not inflate the donut floaty. We don't have time for that today. Someone make donut an SCP and make it a Polygon class, please. Well, Intern Stone, we do have plenty of donut-related anomalies already. For instance, we have the Dead Donut, SCP-5740. This is a donut vending machine that, if you are a civilian, you receive a glazed donut from the vending machine. If you are a healthcare worker, you get a donut with white frosting and red sprinkles, delicious. EMTs get a donut with chocolate frosting and a bottle of Gatorade, stay hydrated. Firefighters get a donut with red frosting and blue water droplets, how cute. National Guard members get a cake donut with the words behave written across it in red frosting. And law enforcement gets iterations of SCP-5740-A. SCP-5740-A is a regular donut, seemingly, until after 4 to 6 hours, if you are a police officer, you will forcibly shit a pig. You will forcibly shit a pig out of your butthole. And then, I'm claiming credit for this, because when ICE, the American law enforcement agency, was doing criminal things because they are criminal people, fascist douchebags, I made a viral tweet about this article, and the author came back to rewrite it and to add ICE into the article. And so, if an member of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement gets a special Dado Bland donut. Let me just read this addendum. During the teardown of one instance of SCP-5740, the donut machine, Agent Derek Mills accidentally pressed a button on SCP-5740, which produced an instance of -A from within the structure. A small piece of paper was stuck to the donut, which reads as follows. Foundation man who is assault Dedo business, Dedo special blend. The instance in question was revealed to be a stale donut with bitter frosting. The frosting was later revealed to be 92% guinea pig feces by weight. So that's what Dedo does to the Foundation. An unverified instance of 5740 was discovered outside of the blank building in blank blank, at the time being used as a field office for the Federal Immigration and Customs Enforcement operations in the city. The structure lacked the touchscreen of earlier models, with the screen having been replaced by a small placard reading, "Oh no, is a small immigrating child inside, coming quickly to apprehending." The appearance of this instance of SCP-5740 was documented by DHS officials who sought to break into the donut stand. As agents approached the structure, it rapidly dispensed 47 live grenades. So, ICE doesn't get donuts. ICE gets live grenades from Dedo. Oops. But no, Dedo is not political in any way. For more donut-related treats, you could also go to the Challenger of Donut Taxes, of which we do have a reading on this channel if you want to listen to me read the article. But SCP-4759 is a knight, as in a armored knight on a horse, made completely out of crushed donuts, looking like the Michelin Man of donuts out here, and shows up whenever local governments are trying to implement a donut tax. And this donut knight will attack the legislator in single combat. I'm sorry, the donut conversation has been interrupted by a puppy of interest who has been donutified. At one point, she needed surgery and needed to not lick the surgery, and that was donuts. Because I cannot escape the donuts, they will follow me. But yes, to finish the conversation about SCP-4759, one time the Donut Knight successfully pierced the skin of the legislator who was implementing the donut tax, and it turns out that that state legislator was completely made of bagels. So seemingly there was some sort of war between the donut people and the bagel people. Pretty confusing, actually. $100. Thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they're glad to clean up yet another glittered bomb. Hybrid Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself, I guess, a donut on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, what would you recommend? I'm trying to turn a fan-made series into official tale. SCP Search and Find. A fan-made series into official tale. Well, what I would recommend is you would probably need to... Is it a video series or is it a writing series? If it's a video series, then you're going to have to write a script and, like, write the story of the series into a tale. You could also... If it's a written series, then you could just make some edits to make it into one tale and put it on the database. Look out for more information from Hybrid Gamer. It's a video series. I'm the director and scriptwriter. Okay, if you want to be a tale on the wiki, you got to write it out as a tale and put it on the wiki. That's all that is to it. I don't know if people have put videos on the SCP Wiki, as this is our video contribution to the site. It's something I've toyed with a little bit, is what if I make, like, a series of videos and upload them as an SCP document, the same way I did with George the Chinchilla, being an audio-only document. I know there's a video document, but there could always be more. I saw a Ko-Fi notification. Let me grab that before I forget it exists. Oh, sweet fancy Moses. Okay. Desk, take note. Amber has done the first $10 donation of the donut of this stream. So when I have to sing Cake by the Ocean, which is the current song at the end of stream, I must have one piece of my hoard of donut merchandise on me. I will go get one piece of donut merchandise before the credit song due to Amber's contribution. Desk is going to keep track of how many $10 donut donations there are. Remember, it doesn't count if your message, super chat, or Ko-Fi does not say donut in it. It has to be a donut donation, specifically a $10 donut donation. I know I can do up to 7 of them, I think. Silver Runner, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please grab yourself a bagel on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Old stuff, but I'm curious about what happened. What's the story with 71343-J and why was it rewritten? You're talking about the sexual harassment doorknob. So, the sexual harassment doorknob is another DJ Cactus article. And just like the Dead Donut by Dedo, which I just talked about, which is another DJ Cactus article, DJ Cactus has a habit of coming back to spruce up articles after a time. Just decides something needs to change and goes and changes it. So in the case of 7143-J, which used to be, and you can look at its history to see the old version, it used to be a doorknob, and everyone was really, really horny for the doorknob, which is, as I always say, completely against protocols for fraternization with anomalies, just might I add. But there was a lot of references to just general sexual harassment in that article. And after a time, I mean, the whole thing was just joke after joke of sexual harassment jokes to a doorknob. And to a point, DJ Cactus, the author, decided that wasn't really as funny as it could be. And so he rewrote the article to make it what he decides is funnier. And so now the doorknob is a regular doorknob. Everybody else is just treating it like a regular doorknob. And the stinger at the end is one guy saying they want to fuck the shit out of that doorknob. That is silly as hell. I find that funnier on the back end than just having a bunch of it again and again and again, overplaying the joke. But this article did get picked on by the anti-wokers because they said it got changed because of woke, the same way as putting white people or gay people or trans people into films and movies. Because anti-wokers are stupid. Note, I am going to say, conservatives are not the same as anti-wokers. That's a different category. I am still iffy on conservatives, though. You can come over to the woke side. It's better over here. We have donuts. Studio Spider, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Please get yourself some get away from me on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, do you have any theories as to what the Foundation did at Site 5? That obviously doesn't exist, of course. Well, it doesn't exist, of course. We didn't do anything. It doesn't exist, clearly. Wanting to fuck a doorknob is woke. Actually, Mamori, not wanting to fuck a doorknob for the whole length of the article is woke. What was cool and unwoke, apparently, was every piece of that dialogue just being, oh, I want to fuck that doorknob. Oh, look at how that doorknob's looking at me. It's, yeah, it's weird. They're weird. Dr. Sherman, are the SCP Foundation and Backrooms connected? And if so, do you ever collect SCPs from the Backrooms? Intern drawing, no. The SCP Foundation has nothing to do with the Backrooms. It's a completely separate intellectual property, meaning it is anomalous, but it's not our business. That and those async jerks keep bogarting the anomaly so we can't study it. Very annoying. Zephyrum, thank you for sending 10 stars to the Gnaeven Azure Assessment team. I am sure they will enjoy those 2 prestige ranks and still being a 5-star team. Good work. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Gnaeven Azure Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. I see a Ko-Fi notification. I'm going to go check on that. Dr. Frogman, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Please grab yourself, I guess you want a donut on your way past the commissary. Does Dr. Sherman want Spain to win the World Cup finals or Argentina, France, or England, or 3rd place? Donut. All right, that's 2 donuts on the stream credit song. 2 donuts. Furthermore, I guess, I mean, I don't watch the World Cup, but I think Spain should win. I think Spain should win. No, France. I said France. France has the Argentine Tango in Paris with SCP-7999. So, France I want to win. I see the chat chattering. I assume Radiger is present. How about those allegations against A24, huh? Could be quite the black stain on their rep if it's true. Indeed, Radiger, although we did talk during the stream subject. Yes, I heard you, Puppy of Interest 42. Although we did find more intel on the subject, Kane Pixels is apparently talking to them in back channels and says that it was not A24 who did that. It might be one of their legal attack dogs who was meant to be taking down cam rips of the movie and went too far. And so A24 is claiming they have clean hands, and Kane Pixels is claiming A24 has clean hands, at least as far as he knows. And so, if that is true, then it will be less bad for them. I certainly hope it's not true. That would be very bad for their reputation. Goth Waffle House. Oh, hello, Goth Waffle House. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please get yourself a scrambled, smothered, and covered on your way past the commissary. Who do you think would win in a fight between 3999 and 682? 3999 is heckin' powerful, but it was eventually killed by a fictional character. So I think 682 sweeps. It has survived reality deletion before. And, again, 3999 did get swept up by one fictional researcher. So, Radiger, we'll see how it shakes out. Best case scenario is just a weird misunderstanding. That's what I'm hoping for. Trust me, I can already see SCP Twitter, Blue Sky threads, knocking knees about what this means with that VHS movie's copyright situation. And we don't know yet because staff has reached out and we haven't heard anything from staff yet. So we're just waiting for intel. Yeah, you got a point. Talaran is the GOAT. You're damn right, Goth Waffle House. That's why researcher Talaran has full reign for whatever budgetary needs they need for SCP-3999-J's containment right here at the R-Wing of Site-42. Godspeed, researcher Talaran. Those go-karts and hot tubs will hopefully contain the hell out of that Keter entity. Sherm, you know, France is out of the World Cup, Spain beat them. I see. Okay, I didn't quite recognize the way Dr. Frogman typed that. So is my only option Spain or Argentina? Because then I'm going with Spain. Zephram, thank you for sending an Argentina to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will do with it whatever they will do with it. France plays England for 3rd place. Ah, I see. Well, get them, France. Get them. Go France, go Spain. They're the ones who I do dances that I learned from them. The best part of power scaling is that it's all made up. Sherm solos because I said so. I can draw it and it can be my own canon. Hey, Radiger is here championing the strength of my strong dance boy legs. So yeah, you better watch yourself. Unless you convince me that it would be more appealing to show off in a glamorous fashion, at which point I might not be in the right mindset to do combat. Yeah, that's a Achilles heel I need to work on. I don't like Desk saying, Radiger, you won't do it. Because I can't see what Radiger said. I can't see that in the chat. I don't know what Radiger said. What are you daring Radiger to do? We have 20 minutes in this stream. Let's make sure everyone survives. I already have to go get 2 donut props for the credit song. Snowball Blizzard, thank you for sending a flower to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they found it very pretty. Dr. Sherman, they already tried 3999 on 682. How the hell did we even do that? I cannot believe that, DJ. I'm going to the termination logs right now. What do you mean? DJ, it's not the termination logs. Where do you see it? Intern Mafioso, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. There you go, Hunter Mark. Dr. Sherman, I'm going to ask you a very important question. What's your favorite donut flavor? Intern Sharky, my favorite donut flavor is lemon-filled. Powdered donut, lemon-filled. C'est magnifique. Puppy of Interest 42. You are so needy today. No, you're not sitting down there. You are going to come over here to interact with chat. Only to whimper by our side.
Oh, hello, boy.
The babies.
Meow.
Row indeed, Agent Charlemagne. Row indeed. I see. Be free!
Can you stop hugging Daddy? Can you stay in the room with me?
Did it get pruned? Basically, 62 sympathize with Tally saying we are both victims or something like that. While you're there, check out the 5175 entry. Okay, yeah, it must have been pruned. Oopsie doopsie. Hey, I'm new here and I'm an SCP/anime fan. Well, Intern Terror, welcome to the chat. We have been streaming about the SCP Foundation every day for a year and 3 months and counting. The daily stream streak remains strong. We also make videos and talk about SCP community news. Termination log for the death knife. Tissue test record was not applicable. SCP-5175 reminder is codename Death Knife. It is a Moroccan knife that has the soul of a Japanese samurai bound to it for some reason. And it can, upon cutting both physical and spiritual entities, banish your soul from this universe to the land of forever suffering or something like that. It's a bit crazy. So, and also it's in the possession of a weeaboo mall cop. Because that is who the samurai has decided is worthy to wield it. So, person of interest 3445 was instructed to pierce SCP-682 with the death knife. Begin log. Person of interest 3345, armed with 5175-1, enters the testing chamber. Says, "The fuck?" Approaches 682, then attempts to pierce it multiple times. 682 expresses resistance, then grabs person of interest 3345, flinging him to the opposite side of the chamber. Person of interest 3445 is gravely injured. Can't do shit about this. 682 approaches person of interest 3445, most likely with intent to kill it. Person of interest 3345 pierces 682, making it disappear. Person of interest 3345 says, "Chijoku," translates to disgrace. Person of interest 3445 leaves the testing chamber. Dr. Redacted is to be rewarded for the Foundation Star for successful termination of 682. Struck through. 13 hours after incident, Lunar Area 32 reported an unknown object orbiting the moon, which was later identified as 682, which was severely damaged. 682 was retrieved by Area 32 personnel, is currently in temporary containment. It's theorized that 682 escaped the realm that it was contained in, and somehow propelled its way back to Earth. Great. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. Zephram, thank you for sending 4 doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I am sure they will spend them wisely. Studio Spider, thank you for donating again to say. Why would the Foundation not test SCP-3729, the door frame that gives you the perfect day, with researchers instead of D-Class? Donuts. Studio Spider, you missed a note of the donut donation thing, which was $10 super chats. You halved that. You can't half-ass a donut dono. Although I will, out of the kindness of my heart, let you make up for it with a second $5 donation. But only this once. Uh, 3729, the door frame. Probably because we don't want to risk researcher lives. You never know if some anomaly is going to do something terrible. It could be baiting us with the perfect day for each D-Class, but once a researcher goes through, it sends them to hell. A lot of SCPs like to trick us like that. It's pretty rude. The Vengeful, you keep saying innocence doesn't get you far, which doesn't mean anything to me, but you know what does get you far? Running. As part of the Foundation Fitness Initiative. Get to the gym, research staff and security staff. Get gains. Get strong. You don't have to be the fastest researcher, just not the slowest. If the Vengeful is after you, I don't want innocence protecting me. I want strong running legs and good cardio. Get to the gym. Join the Foundation Fitness Initiative. Studio Spider, thank you for cleaning up your donation. So now I have to go get 3 donut artifacts for the credit song, which is in 12 minutes. 12 minutes to credits. Sandy Soda, thank you for donating again to say. What's your opinion on SCP-1678? It's my favorite. Des, thank you for throwing on that in the back channels. That's Unlondon. Unlondon, honestly, I don't have much of an opinion on it just because I have not read it. It's very popular, I know. I know people like Unlondon, but I have not read the article, so I don't know about it, unfortunately. I'm glad you like it. A lot of people do like it. It's a very popular article at a positive 1329 rating. Laughing, Quosi, thank you for sending a laughing disco to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they enjoyed some sick, funny dance moves on the dance floor. At your urging. What about 2006? Intern Weston, we talked about 2006 just a stream or two ago. It was a good stream and a great article. Could we just put 173 into a 2-floor system? 173 at the bottom, and an elevator will take D-Class down so 173 cannot get out of containment again. You think that's how it's going to work, but then the elevator will run one day unexpectedly and let 173 up. Plus, we have to constantly send D-Class down there to clean up, so it's not like that makes things any easier. Quosi, thank you for sending a flower to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they find it very pretty. What is SCP-001? Intern Nutshell. That's classified. Quosi, thank you for sending a good game easy to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they had an easy and good game. Snowball Blizzard, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. You have reset them to a 1-star ranked team with 9 minutes left in the stream. But at least they got another prestige rank. Desk, why are you bringing up water bottles unprompted in the chat? Do we not have enough memes going on with the donuts? Can we not escape the Aquafina water bottles for one day? How would you even do that? Intern Weston, thank you, and Intern Plen, well, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Puppet Boy, I was not contemplating doing it. I was contemplating how it's possible it could be done. It doesn't seem possible to me. Also, I would never, after I had to sit through a 5-hour lecture from Dr. Gears about why it's a bad idea to put your dick in an Aquafina water bottle. Not that I needed a presentation to tell me that, Benjamin Kondraki! He's not actually here. I would be shot if I yelled that at this point, so that's why I felt safe to do so. Being innocent Young or pure will not save you from your fate. Oh, okay, I see your profile picture. You're an edgelord pyramid head. Hey, can security put this edgelord pyramid head in containment with all the other edgelord pyramid heads? We really need a lot less sexually repressed weirdos going to Silent Hill. It's a containment hazard I am tired of dealing with. Intern Diggity Dog. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Would I get in trouble if I know something that's classified? Well, that depends. Are you of the classification level to know it? Or not? If not, how did you gain that information? You have 5 minutes until security's upon you, so I would answer quickly. Studio Spider, thank you for donating again to say. What are your thoughts on Project Midwinter? I hear it's very promising in neutralizing anomalies. Might finally be rid of 682. I'm unfamiliar with Project Midwinter. There's always so many things going on at the Foundation. SCP-3799. Alright, well that seems like a lot to run through. Can you give me a long story short about what's happened here? Meanwhile, I'll check the termination log, see if it's been brought up before already. It hasn't been mentioned in the termination log, so I guess not worthy to put there yet. Internal roadie. I do not know what SCPs will be in the SCP movie because the people who announced the SCP VHS movie have not said anything about it. The closest thing they've said is it seems like they might be going for all original entities, and it's only SCP Foundation, as in the SCP Foundation is containing their original entities. But we need more intel about that. Snowball Blizzard, thank you for sending a happy poop to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will enjoy that for some reason. SCP-3799 was a Foundation-made snowstorm that neutralized anomalies but also converted human cadavers into snow and also increased the area of its effects, which is your XK-class scenario. Well, 682 got melted in the When Day Breaks verse, so we do know that, it's possible that the snowstorm could melt it as well. So are the Dr. Sherman plushes still coming in August? Sorry if that's an odd question, but this is my first time buying YouTuber stuff. Interns to Kotura, you missed the news. We had to cancel the order because we had so few orders. Unfortunately, everything got really expensive around the same time that we ran the push. And so we did not sell enough to manufacture. You have been refunded for your plushie. Check your credit card statement to be sure. Alright, Site42 staff, we are currently at the end of stream. And as I do at the end of every stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm going to tell you my favorites are the ones I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. But you can read the SCPs I wrote by going to the Sherm's author page in Site42 Hub on the SCP database. There we can read the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people ask about in the chat all the time, but then they just don't take the effort to go find those links. It's very sad for them, even though I give them this big clue. But I know you're clever enough to find those links, chat. You have the smarts. And so while you're on my author page finding those links, you'll have the opportunity to become a Site42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to help out myself and the Site42 staff, whether it's daily operations or the crazy, ambitious projects we go on, like this convention I'm going to start covering tonight and trying to make some headway into. So we thank you for your generosity if you are able. And if you are not able because you are part of the Broke Gang, do not fret. You can still help us out by being a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make memes, fan art, edits, out-of-context compilations, stuff like that, you are spreading not just Site42, but also the SCP other creators that we support. The SCP Wiki and its authors and artists, SCP game devs, filmmakers, animators, podcasters, merch makers. You're helping us to spread the community, which makes bigger and better SCP projects happen, and we thank you for that service. GG, thank you for sending a donation during the outro. Grab yourself a Fanta on your way past the commissary. Just a quick little tip for the end of stream. Well, thank you for your generosity. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043, Spooky-J, 5175, content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. So, Site42 staff, I'm now going to adjourn myself momentarily to grab 3 donut props for this credit song. I'm now realizing that because of this, I also have to read it, sing it on camera, which is doubly annoying. Since I just did this last time, I'm going to need to go down to the further version, because I sang verse 1 very recently anyways. Be right back, Dr. Chair. Dr. Chair. Keep them entertained. I hope they behave themselves, Dr. Chair. Alright, so the 3 donut props that we have access to are a donut beach blanket, and then a donut plush, and a tinier donut plush. Why does not the larger donut simply eat the smaller donut? I'm also now realizing that you can't really see that one, so I've got to do something ridiculous. Yeah, let's sing like this. Goddamn, see you looking for your own hands. Want another taste of being a yes man. I'm tired of always candy on the dry land. Waste time with a masterpiece, a waste time with a masterpiece. Ha! You should be rolling me, you should be rolling me. Ah! Your real life fantasy, your real life fantasy. Ha! Mr. Moon's okay for me, let's start with dangerously. talk to me, baby. I'm going right from this really craving, whoa. Let's do some ice and go fucking crazy. I keep on home and Willie cake, buddy. I said, come on, walk for me, baby. I'll be someone, you'll be Naomi, whoa. Let's do some ice and go fucking crazy. I keep on home and with her cake, buddy. Ocean. Are you happy? Is this how you get your entertainment? There's string on my tongue.
Bravissimo!
Okay, Site 42 staff. This has been another coffee break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. See you in the next video or stream. Normally I would do the credit song here, but I already did the credit song, so secure, contain.